Hey, this is Len,
And Marcus.
and we are here to talk to you guys about the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and a couple other things.
Yeah. Just talking about features. We're not going to really debate this one out. We just want actual information being talked about, not fanboyism or bashing one system or the other.
Yeah, we're not going to bother about talking about their performance at E3, like who won which performance, because those are just stories.
Right. And it's a lot of nonsense that doesn't need to be brought up. When if you're really concerned about gaming, you look at specs, you look at servers, you look at the controller, you look at everything. Is a giant diagram of everything you're going to get. So
Exactly. And when you are researching, you really can't just trust one place. I mean, you kind of have to look around and see what most of them are saying as well.
yeah, and we've done quite a bit of research. We did some information on. Well, I guess let's start off with the thing we were looking at last night was the Gaikai versus the Cloud.
Yeah.
And Gaikai, for those of you that don't know, is going to be PS4's online servers and their servers, basically. The cloud is what Microsoft is calling their service, but they're actually going through Azure, which is the company that will be maintaining their servers for them.
Yeah.
And a little bit about what the performances are is Microsoft has approximately 300,000 servers. They haven't come out and said whether these are actual physical servers or virtual servers, so there's still a little bit of a debate on which they're going to be. I think it'll be a mix of both. I would like to believe that they're going to be more physical servers than they are virtual, but we'll see as more information's released. Gaikai, the last time that I saw anything was that they were right around 8,000 servers. So server power is, you're looking at the Xbox One, quite a bit more power on server side, and PlayStation, they're kind of playing catch up, but that's mainly because you had Xbox Live Gold, which you had to pay for, and PlayStation Network, which was free.
Yeah, and also Xbox did a bunch of fiddling around with cloud, in the 360. You mean?
Yeah, you had quite a bit of development going on with the cloud. The last, I'd say, 2-3 years of the 360. And from reading up online, it looks like what it amounts to is we're looking at core system specs. The PS4 will actually be graphically stronger than the Xbox One because it's more just game-based, and I like that idea. If you're just a gamer and you're not looking for any of the extra entertainment.
Yeah. If you're mostly going to be playing offline, if you're probably moving around some, or if you won't have constant access to the internet,
Yeah, definitely. But looking at the possibilities with the cloud and Gaikai, basically what they're going to be doing is just increasing the capacity and capability of each system. You're looking at rendering more people on the field of whatever you're playing. You'll include some extra, probably side missions, stuff like that. It basically amounts to, it sounds like part of the game will be on the cloud or Gaikai, and part of the game will be on the system, so you'll be able to balance the stress of your system a little bit better. And just right off the bat, looking at what Xbox is already capable of doing and what they've been doing with the Xbox 360, they've got a little bit of a head start, and quite a bit of a head start as far as server capacity and everything that they can do with it. But I don't underestimate Sony whatsoever. I really think that once they get going, I mean, look at what they did with the Blu-ray discs and stuff like that. That technology took off and has become amazing. I mean, you're seeing Microsoft take the Blu-ray and take their technology now to use it on their discs. So win for Sony right there. I thought that was kind of cool. But I think it's just going to be very, very exciting to see what they do with this technology. I don't know as far as the whole DRM thing, if that's going to mess with anything. I hope not.
Yeah.
But
or the always online thing as well.
yeah, and but basically what it's amounted to is if you're going to be at home, online a lot, all the time kind of thing, Xbox One looks like it'll potentially be a little bit more powerful, being able to put out more from their servers and the system combined. But the PS4, if you're going to be someone who doesn't play online, doesn't want to do, or moves a lot, or is constantly, our soldiers overseas and stuff like that, that won't have a constant online connection, I actually think the PS4 is going to be better for local play.
Yeah. And of course, they're both going to have their own exclusive games. They're both going to have their own little things. Like Xbox has been doing a lot of advertising for their Kinect, for their TV. If you're a fan of that, that's fine. Marcus and I are kind of trying to focus just on the gaming aspect of it.
Yeah, we want to focus on. I mean, there are gaming consoles. We want to focus on what they're supposed to be building for. And right now, I think Sony's actually got the edge on that, whereas they're focused more on the games. And I understand Microsoft is doing all the entertainment stuff, and I love that personally because I've got cable and I'm going to be doing the fantasy football stuff like that. But that's all opinions,
Yeah.
And it just depends on the person themselves. But if you're looking at core gaming, me being an Xbox fan, even has to admit Sony is doing it, Sony's pushing that limit. And controllers, what do you think of the new controllers that they've got coming out?
I am liking them. I'm definitely liking the look of the new PlayStation 4 controller. I am holding a DualShock 3 in my hand and I am looking forward to having a thumbstick that is concave. That won't be scratching my thumb every time I try to click down on it.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I've always preferred about the 360 controllers was the concaved thumbsticks, because when I played on my the PS3 or something, I always felt like my fingers were slipping off the controls, especially if you get in an intense moment and you're trying to be really quick about something. It feels like I'm losing grip.
Yeah.
And it's nice to hear that they're doing that. I love the new Xbox controllers. They've introduced multiple new rumble systems into it, so where they've got rumble packs in the triggers, and the entire controller's just it's a giant vibrator. It's just ridiculous.
Please do not use it as a giant vibrator.
Do not go on Xbox indie games and get any of the massage games. At least get a silicone cover before you do this. But personally, I think they both look like really good controllers. I like that they're both keeping the same kind of look to the last gen. I mean, from the sounds of it, the PS4 controller is going to be a little bit bigger, which I always had problems with the PS3 controller it felt small.
It does feel a bit like a toy as well.
Yeah, and that, and with the Xbox, they're adapting to where their slimmer design is what it looks like. And they said it'll fit better, hand sizes better, and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to both controllers. Definitely great things. I love the PS4 touchpad that they're introducing. They said it'll be used as a button is something that I saw. I don't really get that. I guess it'll be...
It'll have to be amazingly accurate, but if it is... more power to him.
Definitely interesting. Next thing, I guess we can talk about the Kinect and the Move.
I haven't really heard that much about the Move, though.
I did see that the Move will be compatible with the PS3 Move controllers.
Oh.
So you won't be needing to go out there and get any new hardware to go with the Move if you decide to get the new camera. The new camera will work and function with the current gen controllers. So I love that, because that means I don't have to go out there and get that. I know a lot of people have been talking about how Xbox should drop the Kinect, and I kind of tend to agree, because it's just an accessory. I don't think it should be always online. I'm not worried about the NSA or anything like that listening in. Seriously, it's...
If you're doing illegal things in front of your Xbox, you probably need to rethink your life.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you just walk around naked in front of the Xbox? You know, I'm sure not very many of them are going to want to see that after a while. I mean, we're gamers, and generally, we're not the fittest of people. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are, beyond that. But anyways, I think Microsoft could do kind of what PS4 is doing. Drop their price, give us the option of adding the Kinect. I might get the Kinect later on down the road, but honestly, even from this generation, the Kinect was not used whatsoever when I used it. I might use it every once in a while for the movie features and stuff like that, but I'm always gaming, so I always have my controller right there in my hand, and it felt more responsive than the Kinect.
Yeah, I listened to the Giant Bombcast this past week. It's a regular podcast to listen to. Highly recommended. But they were talking about how the Xbox One is having all these, like, kind of cool new features, but most of them, odds are you'll probably never use them.
Yeah, I think, like, even, like, their sports abilities and stuff like that, I really don't see myself using them very often.
Yeah.
I do like the ability that they have come out with the HDMI input, where you can plug in the computer, you can plug in, if you have both systems, you could plug in your PlayStation into it, you know. That would be interesting to see how that worked, but and you can snap feature both of them, half and half on each screen. Honestly, it's kind of gimmicky, I guess I should say. It sounds really cool, but the only way I'd see using it is if I have like my desktop and I don't want to get up and walk the 5 feet to my,
I've seen how lazy you are.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could hook it up to the Xbox, but honestly, it's just like, I guess I feel fat just even thinking about hooking up the Xbox. It's a really cool idea, but it's just like, wow, how lazy has society become that we have to do this?
Well, also, my main thing is, I plug something into the TV. I kind of want to use all of the TV for that one thing. So, like, spinning the TV is pretty cool, but at the same time, I don't really want to play my game on half of a TV.
Well, that's like, I guess the smart glass. I mean, that takes away from the smart glass in my eyes. It's really weird because they've been pushing the smart glass, like get it on your tablet, get it on your smartphone. And I have smart glass. I never use it at all. Like, I might use it when I've got a friend that comes over and they're, like, watching, Netflix or something like that. But I never use it when I'm home alone. Like, I'll use it to mess with my friends. Like, I'll go downstairs or something like that, and they'll be watching a show, and then I'm like, haha, you're watching My Little Pony or something like that, And they're like, what the hell? Who the hell's messing with it? But other than that, that's the only time I've ever used it. I just see, like, the split screening. I think the snap feature is kind of cool in some instances, but it's not going to be something I use every time I get online, every time I get on the Xbox. It's never going to happen.
It's like they're trying to kind of connect your Xbox with you wherever you go. Anywhere you go, you can, like, pop it up and say, I'm going to drop this, drop some napalm on my buddies on Call of Duty. Like, you don't really always have to be connected to your game system. Yeah,
I don't think you always have to. I think it's a cool feature
if
maybe you're, like, in a clan and they're stuck on something, like you saw with, what was it, Battlefield 4, I think it was, where they came in with, like, the camera or something like that and were marking people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember exactly what game it was, but they had somebody come in and help via smartphone or tablet, I think it was.
Dead Racing 3, they had somebody do, like, artillery strike.
Yeah, the artillery strike in that. I think they're cool features. Very little use, though. I don't see myself at home, or I mean, especially if I'm driving. Like, I'm driving home, but my buddies, they're trying to cut down all that. I don't see. It's hard to see.
I just realized that's reminding me exactly of the way the Wii U has their little pad for the new Super Mario Bros. U game, where there's 4 people playing on the screen, 1 person with his little tablet thing, able to drop platforms wherever he wants. That reminds me exactly of the Smart Glass.
Yeah, I feel it's another gimmick, you know. I think it's cool, and I like that it's free.
Yeah.
So that'll be enticing to at least fiddle with to start with and see how things go. But I think a lot of the add-ons are just that, add-ons, and I think that they should give you the option of whether yes, I want to buy the Kinect, or no, I would rather go without the Kinect.
Yeah.
That's how I've been thinking about it. At first, I was really excited that it comes with the Kinect, but if I could get an Xbox One without the Kinect and then wait on it and pay the extra $100 for the Kinect later, I would definitely do it.
Absolutely.
It's just there's a lot of features to it, but I don't know.
Yeah. And aside from, like, all these features aside, these are very similar consoles. Like, really, like, main difference are those, like, little features and also the exclusives.
Yeah, the exclusives, both sides have amazing exclusives.
Yeah.
The Order, I didn't know up until just the other day that it was going to be exclusive to the PS4.
Yeah.
I want to see more gameplay on it.
Okay.
The little tease that they gave us at E3 was amazing. I loved it. I want to see more. But I also like my Halo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With them
Dead
announced-
Rising 3 does look amazing.
Dead Rising 3 looks great. There's a bunch of exclusives on both sides. I can't wait for Infamous Second Son.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Was Titanfall exclusive to Xbox?
Yeah, Titanfall is exclusive to Xbox One.
That's really cool.
They both have great lineups. I know everybody's talking about the indie lineups also.
There are a couple of real gems in the starting lineup. And
Yeah, they've got some great looking games from what Len's shown me and stuff, because I'm not a huge indie gamer. That's just not my forte, I guess.
yeah.
I do love a really good indie game every once in a while. I've got a ton of really good indie games on my Steam account. But I wasn't really looking at that as a player, I guess. It just wasn't appeasing to me. But I'm really excited to see that they're both working on them. Xbox, they keep saying, yes, we want to continue to work with indie developers, and that's something that I want to see them actually be like, this is how we're working with them. Because all we're hearing right now is, yes, we're willing to work with indie developers. Well, I'd like to see them do kind of what Sony did and show some of the work that they're doing.
Like, they've made a killing with Minecraft. There are so many fans of Minecraft on 360. Me, one of them. I love it.
Yeah.
So, do more of that,
Yeah, I think that there's so much potential in a lot of indie games. Well, not a ton of indie games, but quite a few indie games out there. There's a good handful of indie games that could go far with Microsoft and Sony pushing them. But I think that if I want to see less of, well, we're allowing them to just be on our platform. I would like to see Sony and Microsoft kind of reach out their hand and be like, here's some of our tech, see what you can do with it, kind of thing, like a developer kit, something like that. I'd like to see them to be give more of a helping hand instead of just being like, yes, we allow them to put stuff out on our system.
So what we're saying is you want them to be more like the Ouya.
Exactly.
How is that for a segue?
Yeah, the Ouya, it comes out tomorrow. Looks amazing. It's super tiny little
Rubik's Cube box.
Runs off of the Android operating system, 4.0, I believe it is what we looked at last night. Has a mini, well, not a mini, but a small controller. It reminds me a lot of the Sega controller.
It does.
The way it's laid out.
And a lot of games you will be able to use the 360 or PlayStation 3 controller.
Yeah, and some of the really cool features that we saw last night looking at it was the ability to demo all the games for free.
That's such a cool idea.
I love that idea because that means I don't have to worry about, oh man, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy this, if I'm going to like it, and is it worth my money? And the portability of it, that was insane.
Also, there will be like a good amount of emulators for that, which again I'm way excited for. I love emulators. I love going back to the classic games.
Yeah, it would be I would be more excited about the emulators, but now that I've been, like, I got my Super Nintendo working, my 64, my Sega.
Well, we can't all be.
Yeah,
we
you know,
can't
you
be
can't.
lucky.
But I love the idea that, like, even if I was to go to, like, a friend's house who didn't have all those things, I could take them with me because I've got that emulator on the Ouya.
Exactly.
And the Ouya looks amazing. Definitely look it up.
And the price is only $100.
Yeah,
$100
$100 is a great price point for a console, especially with, you know, two giant consoles coming out right now.
Exactly.
There was talk that the CEO of Ouya was referencing that they will be coming out with new consoles each year, is what he said. Yeah. But they'll be doing major updates to, like, memory, the graphics. Everything's going to be super upgraded after each year. And the price point will always be $100 for the new system. So for some reason, you're like, I don't know about that. It's only $100, you know. You figure you're only putting out a game and a half.
Also, probably one of my favorite things about this is that, I mean, I understand a lot of people do like hard copies of the disc, but since it is all download, you do not have to be out there like on opening day waiting for a game. You can just like, you know, find what games are out there. Oh, this game is out now. Grab it instead of having to run a GameStop.
And
I love stuff like that.
And another great looking thing coming out along with the Ouya, the PS4, and the Xbox One is the Oculus Rift.
Oh, that looks so cool.
The VR program, the virtual reality headset, looks amazing from what I've seen of it so far. I cannot wait. They've already announced that Hawken will release with it the new Doom 4, Doom 3 BFG, which is all three Dooms going into it. They've had ports for Portal 2, Team Fortress 2. Valve is definitely pushing this also.
Skyrim, I believe,
yes,
which will probably look amazing on there.
Yeah, and I mean, you can go out there right now and buy dev kits. Last I saw on their website was August is their next shipment. It's $300 for the developer kit. That's not the consumer HD kit that you might see online if you're looking it up on YouTube later. You're looking at like I think they said 720p for it. It's going to be a big bulky headset looking thing, and they said it'll look different when it comes out to consumers. They haven't released a release date, but just the technology behind it, it seems so simple. Like looking at it, like it looks like they've got like magnifying lenses with an LCD screen in there.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous view, and the responsiveness of like you'll be able to turn your head left or right, and your character in game is turning at that exact same time. Definitely something for you guys to look out for, and definitely research it.
And this isn't even a con at all. I just would like to note that while watching one of the interviews, we saw something in the background with it on, the Oculus Rift on, and he did look a bit goofy, kind of just looking around with its mouth agape. And
Yeah, I think the Oculus Rift is going to be a great feature for people who have very small apartments, because now you won't have to have like a huge entertainment setup.
Yeah.
You won't have to have a giant TV or any TV or an entertainment center or anything like that. You just have the Oculus Rift, the system it's with, because they are talking about doing it for the Xbox One and PS4 as well as PC.
That's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah, PC is what they're mainly focused on right now, but you're looking at Xbox One, PS4 tech potentially. I wouldn't say out within the next year. I'm saying give it a couple years, something like that.
Yeah.
But there is speculation that Oculus might be doing a release later this year with it. Definitely interesting thoughts. I'd like to see it come out early next year.
Absolutely.
Because I think it'll lose a lot of attention with the PS4 and Xbox One releasing later this holiday season. So, but definitely great things coming out future tech-wise, like the cloud, the Gaikai. Looking at both systems, like I said, if you're going to be home, doing solos, doing your own kind of thing, definitely look at the PS4. But also you can't rule out the Xbox One because they have all the entertainment features, something that might be nice for the family, you know.
Exactly.
And so it's your preference is, personally, I'm still leaning for the Xbox because of certain games, Dead Rising 3, Titanfall. I cannot wait for Titanfall. That looks amazing. But, also I'm looking forward to the PS4, but right now I'm still leaning Xbox.
Yeah. Right now I'd be leaning PS4 mainly because, like you said, the exclusives, Infamous, and a couple of the indie titles, they look really good. There are a couple of features that we overlooked about the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, referring to the Xbox Live Gold membership and the PlayStation 4's PlayStation Plus program. There's a couple differences, quite a few things that are different. It comes down to like the instant game collection, which I don't know if there's a lot of people that realize it, but you actually won't get you'll get, I believe it's 12 games every month free, but that's not just PlayStation console exclusive free games. That's including PlayStation, the PSP, the PS Vita. Stuff like that.
And also, potentially in the future with Gaikai, I'm not sure how this is going to happen, but they're talking about having backwards compatibility, so maybe some PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 games?
Yeah, it's going to be like streaming PlayStation 3 games, so you won't download them, but you'll stream them.
Okay.
But they're saying that feature won't be introduced until later next year.
Okay.
The Gaikai will be active right away. But that feature, the PS3 backwards compatibility stream, is next year's objective, is kind of what it looks like, what they're looking at doing. But also the change in being free online, they're actually adding that into the PlayStation Plus cost.
Yeah.
So if you want to play online, you still get your free-to-play games that are multiplayer for free. You still get your Netflix, Redbox, all that for free, without paying for PlayStation Plus. But if you want to go online, play against your friends, play co-op with your friends, something like that, you will have to pay.
Exactly. That is the leaf that they're taking from the Xbox's book. But the Xbox Live Gold is taking a leaf from the PlayStation's book.
By introducing the 2 free games a month, one every 2 weeks.
And they started that with Fable 3 in all of June. We all enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
Or maybe enjoyed is too strong of a word, but...
Yeah. Next month is supposed to be... We're not for sure yet, but it's supposed to be Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3.
Which I own both of those games. They're pretty common games. I wish they'd gone a bit more recent, but...
I like the introduction of Halo because, it's one of their big franchises. It's their main franchise, I see.
Yeah.
But I could have done without Assassin's Creed 2, I think.
Did you get all the achievements in that game?
I did. I got all 1,000 achievements on 2.
Okay.
And I loved 2. I just don't think it should be like first month rollout material.
Yeah, I think you'd probably go with a bit of a stronger title.
Yeah, I completely agree. Some of the other things that they're doing is like the PlayStation Network is doing 1 gig cloud memory. And you can only access a cloud memory if you have the PlayStation Plus. Except for they're actually winning in that department because I was just browsing because I couldn't remember offhand. But the 360 only has 520 megs of cloud game storage. That'll probably increase with the Xbox One's release.
Yeah.
But right now they actually have double the capacity on the PS3.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Some of the other things you're looking at is like you have to have Xbox Live Gold to stream or to do
Twitch, is it?
Not Twitch, but we'll get to that here in a minute.
Oh.
But like do any of your movie services.
Oh, right.
Your Netflix, anything like that. Which kind of hurts them a little bit because it's free on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it's they're pretty well based. I kind of like the Xbox a little bit because if I decide I don't want to have my Xbox Live Gold anymore, any of those free games that I've been downloading, I will still keep. Whereas with the PlayStation Plus, if I stop paying for PlayStation Plus, I lose all of my PlayStation Plus games.
Okay, that is a pretty major downside.
Yeah, it locks you out. And I mean, it could be just like a 1 month thing where it's like, oh, I don't have the money in my budget this time around. I'll have to skip on it. That means you lose your entire game collection that you're getting from PlayStation Plus.
So you cannot download them to your hard drive then for the PlayStation 4?
What it'll be is you'll lose the ability to play. It locks you out of the game, so it becomes like a demo almost. It's like, hey, you don't have PlayStation Plus, you can't play it.
Okay, that's pretty shiesty, but
yeah.
I can see why they're doing it.
Yeah, I can understand, but I feel, it's hit and miss. I just like the ability that if I decide to switch to like the PlayStation, I'll continue to have all of my games that I got for free from Xbox.
Yeah.
Just a nice little touch to it, I guess, is how I see it. But, either way, I like the amount of games you get per month also through PlayStation.
Yeah. Now, what are the prices for PlayStation Plus versus Xbox Live Gold?
PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold are... PlayStation Plus is $50 for an entire year.
Okay.
Or $60 for Xbox Live Gold.
Okay, so PlayStation Plus is a bit cheaper.
A bit cheaper. They're really close in comparison. I think PlayStation Plus is still probably the better buy because I always buy 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
But you also have a lot of sales going on towards the end of your membership through Xbox Live Gold. Like I've seen you actually are just running up on your Xbox Live Gold, and I think it was like dropping it down to like $30 or something like that for your Xbox Live Gold re-up. So you're saving half the price right off the bat. And both Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus will be integrating into the Xbox One and PS4, so there's not going to be a different service or anything like that. They're just going to continue your subscription onto the new systems.
Now, all the games that are free for PlayStation Plus for PlayStation 3, oh my gosh, so many times I have to say PlayStation.
Right.
But now, will all those games be transferred over to PlayStation 4, or will they be starting with a new cadre of games that are free?
The latest I've seen is the whole announcement that your PlayStation Network purchases will not transfer over to your PS4. I'm not quite sure. I don't really understand it. It's something I want to hear a little bit more about, but right off the bat, just hearing that, for anybody who's bought games on their PlayStation, it could be a little bit of a thorn in the foot, kind of thing, or a thorn in the side. I could see it as a little bit of a why, a little bit of an upsetness. I know I was kind of like, what? That doesn't make sense. But we don't know exactly how Xbox is going to do theirs. It sounds like their entire marketplace is going over, but we're not for sure yet.
Again, as we said earlier, for now, all we have on these consoles are stories. I mean, I'd probably start pre-ordering my console like a month before it comes out. Maybe.
Yeah, see, I've already pre-ordered mine, but that's only because of the little amount of production that they're doing right away, and I prefer to be first hands-on, not being stuck watching somebody else play their system. I want to be able to test the system for myself and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So I just want to be sure that I'll be getting my system right away.
Exactly.
Honestly, if you're not sure, I would definitely look up the differences. There are some sites that are still reporting that the whole DRM feature is still there on the Xbox. Those are really old articles.
So check the dates of the articles.
Yeah, check the dates of the articles, and definitely do your research. That's all we can do. Is we've been doing our research. We're giving you what we've looked at, what we've seen online. And giving you some of our opinions. We're trying to keep it more informative than opinionated in this.
And also another small feature that we have to mention: the Twitch versus like YouTube instant uploading.
Yeah, Microsoft's doing the Twitch straight live streaming of you playing the game via Twitch on the Xbox One. I got it backwards earlier. when I was talking to Len here, but PS4 is actually doing the automatic upload to YouTube and doing the streaming through Ustream.
Okay.
And the differences between Ustream and Twitch are basically Twitch just has a much higher fan base, more people travel through there. The statistics say about 35 million people view Twitch
Wow.
a month, and that's just insane.
That is.
And Ustream, like when they announced it at the PlayStation press conference at E3, I was just like, what's Ustream? I've never heard of Ustream before. But it's basically the same concept. But the only thing is Twitch also admitted that it's going to be publisher-based. So it's not exclusive to the Xbox One, but the publisher of whatever game you're uploading has to okay it and has to have, like, twitch.spk, I think it was, in their coding format.
Okay, now also, will Xbox be having instant uploading to YouTube, or?
From what I see, no.
Okay, so, I mean, this is like a bit early on, but I'd say, like, PS4 does have a slight upper edge in that.
Yeah, I completely agree. For us that do, for other YouTubers out there that do gameplays, walkthroughs, let's plays, whatever you do, it's going to be a definitely hand up on PlayStation 4. But like I said, do your research. I'm not for sure. Maybe Xbox One will introduce the YouTube upload feature later on, or it's something that we just haven't heard anything about. But I'd love to hear from you guys, you YouTubers that are out there, on what do you guys think about the uploading and streaming? Because I know some of you do streaming on Twitch. Some of you might do streaming on Ustream. It's something we haven't really delved into. We'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. But that's pretty much what we've got so far.
Also, now I don't really want to start a comment war, but I would kind of like to hear from you guys what you are most looking forward to between the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4. So leave it in the comments. Please do not attack each other over which one. Just kind of tell us which one. Maybe say why.
But that's our thoughts. That's some of the information that's been put out there. Like we said, we're not trying to sway anybody one way or the other. We're just trying to put out all the really good, useful information that we found out over the last couple of weeks and post E3.
For all those people out there who believe that console gaming is coming to an end, I really think you can be further from the truth.
Yeah.
It's just getting bigger.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It'll definitely be a great next couple years to see what they do.
Exactly. Well, thank you. That was Len.
And Marcus for Blockshot Gaming.
Bye.